Now we'll go a bit more deeper and ask you कि एक equity mutual fund, just sticking to equity mutual fund, हम जब उसको like when we're trying to find one, what are key, I'd say, metrics we look out for? And in addition to it, do I look at price performance at all? Because it's always said, हम सबने सुना है कि past performance is not an indication of future performance as well. But then again, I feel कि if a fund has performed well over past 5 to 7 years, it certainly means कि कुछ तो बात होगी that it has performed, let's say, the market. So I think both of these arguments are sort of counterintuitive. So how do I navigate through this sort of dilemma that I have? And also, what are other key metrics that I look out for?
So I'll talk about the past performance first. As you rightly mentioned, if the fund has performed in last 5 years, it means it has, the fund manager has got some skills or knowledge. Now, this statement that past performance is not a guarantee of future, it is perfectly right. There's nothing wrong in this statement, but the investors take it in a negative way that you should not look at past performance. No, the idea of saying this statement does not mean you should not look at past performance. The idea is you should not just look at past performance, right?
Okay.
When you're looking at a mutual fund scheme, look at 7, 8 parameters, whatever you're supposed to look at. But what typically investors do is they just focus on last 1 year, 3 year, 5 year return. They look at the top 2, 3 schemes. They say, okay, these are good schemes. Let me invest in them. So to discourage investors from doing this kind of activity, which majority of investors do, that's why this kind of statement has been quoted by various experts and fund houses, that past performance is not a guarantee of future, right? That does not mean past performance is irrelevant or insignificant, right? So it is significant. You have to look at it, but it is one of the things to look at, not the only thing, right? Now, other parameters you're talking about, there's something called turnover ratio. I just point out 4, 5 pointers. Turnover ratio is what? How much churning is happening in the fund. Okay. Let's say turnover ratio is 60%. It means in last 1 year, fund manager has sold 60% worth of stocks in the portfolio and bought something new. That's called churning. Turnover ratio. Turnover kitta hua, right? Okay. Now, lower the better. Why? Because I don't want my fund manager to keep on churning. I want him to do proper research and stick to the stocks for long, right? Okay. So lower the better. Second is expense ratio, nothing but annualized charges. Again, lower the better. I would want to pay as less as possible. But again, just looking at turnover ratio being low does not make a scheme good. Just looking at expense ratio being low does not make a scheme good. You have to look at all the parameters holistically and then take your call. There is no single parameter which is so strong that you can reject or select a scheme. Okay. Whether it is a turnover ratio, expense ratio, or past performance, right? Next, size of the fund. Okay. No, not many people focus on that. So what happens is, naturally, let's say a scheme is performing well. What will happen? The scheme size will go up because everyone wants to invest in that. And plus they are performing well means the size of the scheme portfolio is anyway going up, right? Beyond a point, that size becomes a disadvantageous position for the fund, because now the fund manager is not able to find good quality stocks to invest that fresh money which they're getting, right? So they, unfortunately, they don't have any choice but to go to B or C category stocks and start investing in them. So what performed in the past now starts going down. And that's again the same thing comes. Past performance is not a guarantee of future, because just because they have performed in the past, it might become a problem for them. This performance itself might become a problem for them, and then now they would not be able to perform because the fund size is so huge. So I also mentioned the range of fund size you should look at in various categories when I talk to my participants in the program. Then another thing to look at is fund manager investment. Again, not many people know about it. I am the fund manager of the scheme. How much am I investing? That's very important. How much are the board of directors of the scheme of the mutual fund investing in that scheme? How much are the other senior management investing in that scheme? Now, why is it important? Because see, that this is their full-time job. If they are not investing their own money, I would be definitely a little uncomfortable. There is no skin in the game. It's like you go to a cafeteria and you get to know the owner never eats there. Like there's something fishy. Yeah, the owner is not eating there. Why should I go and eat? So, not that he has to eat every day, but he should at least be there sometimes. So there is something called scheme information document where you get this data. Okay. And this is disclosed twice a year by the fund house. You just go type the name of your scheme on Google along with scheme information document. You will get the link and you can go and check there in the table. how much investment is your fund manager doing, and the other key people doing put together. And thankfully, SEBI has come up with the law this year, April 2021. 20% of fund managers' salary and other key people's salary will go into the scheme in which they're investing into. So basically, instead of getting 100 rupees in their bank account as salary, they will get only 80 rupees. Remaining 20 rupees will come in the form of mutual fund units. Right? And to avoid that they end up selling that scheme too soon, they have put a 3-year lock-in.
Okay.
Till 3 years, they cannot withdraw that money. So now they will truly have skin in the game. Now it will pinch them also if the performance is not good, which was not happening till now, right? So this is one very important criteria, how much the fund manager is investing his money. And another related to the same thing is, since when is the fund manager serving that scheme?
Okay.
Every 2 year, 3 year, if my fund manager is changing, that's also a concern, right? I want the fund manager to be there for as long as possible. So I look at how, since when do we have this fund manager in the scheme? At least I prefer at least 3 years should be there. The longer the better, but at least 3 years is, I want them to, have that time to perform and show their skill and knowledge. And the last one within the performance, one is you look at the past returns in terms of CAGR, trailing returns. The other is rolling returns. Okay. Rolling returns gives you a more stringent measure of consistency of the scheme. So these are the broad criteria. I would say that this, I think, makes it 8 parameters in total, which you can. And yeah, one more I missed: number of stocks. I say the lower the better, because if the number of stocks is, let's say, 50 in a scheme, another scheme has got 90. So the scheme which has got 90 stocks, they don't have, you will always have limited quality stocks in the market, right? You will not have 200, 500 limited, good quality stocks. The scheme which has got 50 stocks, they still have got buffer to add more good quality stocks. Scheme which already has got 90 stocks, if they add more stocks, most likely they will be B and C category stocks. Yeah. So that's one more parameter.
And I think the whole process is very comprehensive, which is why I highly recommend ki go sign up for Sir's mutual fund program, because he does this full time for over 3 days. So you can also delve a bit deeper into such nuances of mutual fund investing and also retain this stuff, because I think 15 or let's say 10 minutes does not do justice to the type of learning it takes for you to choose a good mutual fund.